Fraternities across Ball State's campus are taking a stand tonight on Newslink Indiana, the message they're sending during homecoming week.
And a former president shares his opinion on Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh, what he says is a mistake, coming up.
And a cold front's on the way. I'll be telling you just how long those effects will last in my full weather.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, Newslink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Emerson Lehman.
And I'm Wyndham Gant.
A Muncie man is still missing after a statewide silver alert. 69-year-old Carl Gravitt was last seen around 10:30 in the morning last Friday. Police say Gravitt walked away from a residential facility. He is said to be in extreme danger and may require medical assistance. Gravitt was last seen wearing a tan jacket, gray sweatshirt, and blue jeans. If you have any information on Gravitt, you should contact the Muncie Police Department at 765-747-4838 or call 911. The hunt for a missing 13-year-old Wisconsin girl remains as 100 volunteers have joined the search. Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald says investigators believe Jamie Kloss is alive but in danger. Fitzgerald requested the help from volunteers in hopes of finding clues to the whereabouts of Kloss. The girl's parents were found fatally shot Monday morning in their home in Barron, Wisconsin.
A Yorktown mother is facing charges after driving while intoxicated with her 3-year-old daughter. 30-year-old Holly Britton was found incoherent behind the wheel after snorting heroin. Police officer David Kepler took Britton into custody after she stopped in a 4-lane state highway. Kepler said the driver had her foot on the brake and was unsure where she was or how she got there. An initial hearing in the case is set for November 19th.
An Anderson couple was arrested after fleeing from a traffic stop. Officers were driving through Anderson and saw a southbound car speeding on Columbus Avenue. The car then turned east onto 42nd, and as they tried to escape, police followed the car onto East Lynn Avenue. That's when 26-year-old Darnell Miller jumped out of the car and ran. Miller was later found and taken into custody. 21-year-old Brittany McCord was also taken into custody. McCord was charged with felony resisting law enforcement and a misdemeanor operating without a license. They're being held in the Madison County Jail.
And if you've been down Frat Row recently, you've probably noticed something a bit different with many of the houses. Fraternities across campus have hung banners from their buildings advocating against sexual assault. Some of those banners say silence is not consent and no does not mean convince me. Since the beginning of the year, Ball State has seen 4 public safety advisory emails regarding sexual assault on or near campus. Some of the fraternities have made the decision to take them down after homecoming weekend. Other fraternities have chosen to keep them up a little longer.
And much of the country should expect a mild winter this year. That's according to the seasonal forecast released by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The report predicts warmer than normal temperatures in the Northeast, the Pacific Northwest, and the Northern Plains. The Great Lakes and parts of the Northern Plains and Northern Rockies will likely see drier than average conditions, and no parts of the country are due for a colder than normal winter. But the South is expected to see above average precipitation, which could bring snowstorms to the deep South. And Wyndham, it is certainly crazy to be thinking about snowstorms already, but I'm happy to see that it's going to be a warmer winter than usual.
Yeah, and I'm really hoping that we don't have any kind of snow coming up. Liz, please give us good news on that.
Hey, I know that those cold temperatures have been here for a while. They're really here to stay. If you already haven't busted out those warm jackets, you want to start to get them out now. Across the state, sitting in those mid to lower 40s, 45 in Indianapolis, 42 in Lafayette, 41 in Terre Haute. Just a chilly night overall tonight, and those conditions really sticking with us for the next couple of days. I'm sorry, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I know, it's not what we really want. Forecasted high today, we were sitting at 56 degrees, a lot cooler than we've been seeing in past years. Usually we're about 63 degrees for this time of year, 10-degree difference from what we've seen last year. Nowhere near that record high, set back at 82 degrees, although I know I really wish that it had been today. For the next 6 hours, we're going to start to drop down into those mid to lower 40s. Grab that jacket if you're headed out. I'll have more on that coming up in my full weather.
President Donald Trump says it certainly looks as though missing Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi is dead. Khashoggi hasn't been seen since entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul more than 2 weeks ago. Turkish authorities say he was killed and dismembered. The Saudis have denied involvement.
We're waiting for some investigations and waiting for the results, and we'll have them very soon, and I think we'll be making a statement, a very strong statement, but we're waiting for the results. of about 3 different investigations, and we should be able to get to the bottom fairly soon.
Trump has previously warned that the kingdom will face severe punishment from the U.S. if it is determined that the Saudi Arabia was responsible for Khashoggi's death. Both the Turkish and Saudi governments are conducting separate investigations into his disappearance.
Former President Jimmy Carter says he believes Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh is unfit to serve on the court. Speaking to a class at Emory University in Atlanta, Carter called Kavanaugh's confirmation a very serious mistake. Now, you remember during Kavanaugh's confirmation process, Christine Blasey Ford accused him of sexually assaulting her while they were both teenagers at a party. After an FBI investigation, Kavanaugh ended up being confirmed to the court by a narrow 50-48 vote along mostly party lines. Just ahead, the Indianapolis airport is preparing to take off with new plans to update their infrastructure. How much the airport is receiving on the way.
And Ball State students won't have to walk to get to this weekend's homecoming game. A look at how you can head to the stadium. Stay with us.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone?
No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back. If you need a ride to the homecoming game this Saturday, you're in luck. The Student Government Association is offering shuttle service to and from the stadium. The shuttle will begin running at 11 in the morning until the end of the game. It will pick up students at North Shelter, Studebaker West, the corner of New York and Reserve Avenue, Auditorium, and the Student Center. Kickoff will be this afternoon at 3.
And some exciting news for Indianapolis. The airport has received nearly $20 million in federal and state grants. The grants were awarded through the Federal Aviation Administration's Airport Improvement Program. The authority announced that the focus on the projects is to rehabilitate existing infrastructure. The airport says it's the biggest total of grants that it's received, topping the $18 million in 2017. Almost $15 million will help fund runway improvements and improve airfield lighting at the airport.
Ball State University offers a lot of dining options, but not that many payment options. Newslink Indiana's Ethan Gerald shows us what meal plans are offered to students.
To eat or not to eat. Here at Ball State University, students are offered a variety of different dining options on campus, including places like Chick-fil-A, Boar's Head, and more. But do students get enough food for their buck? Or in this case, their swipe?
I would like to see them not having just strictly 3 meals a day and just being able to use the swipes whenever throughout the week, because my sister is here and sometimes I want to pay for dinner for her.
The 2018-2019 school year has brought about a few changes to the meal plan. Students are allowed 20 cents more for breakfast and 10 cents more for each lunch and dinner. More importantly, students now have the ability to use both the lunch and dinner swipe back to back instead of waiting for specific mealtime hours to use swipes.
I like that now with both lunch and dinner I can essentially eat when I want And so I think that's cool.
According to DJ Cleveland, Ball State takes part in the National Association of College and University Food Services Customer Satisfaction Survey. The changes students have seen this year are those that have been suggested through this survey last year. Their survey is an initiative taken by the university which better allows them to serve the Ball State community. Dining Services will be sending out this survey in November, so don't miss your opportunity to have your voice heard for next year. In Muncie, I'm Ethan Gerald, NewsLink Indiana.
Now, Ball State plans to open up a new dining hall on the north side of campus in 2020. Whether any more direct changes will be made to the meal plan is unknown. And students, make sure to complete that survey in November if you have any dining suggestions.
A heads up from the CDC, a strain of salmonella resistant to multiple antibiotics is making people ill in dozens of states across the country. The CDC says at least 92 people in 29 states were infected with the salmonella strain. The people became ill after they came into contact with several different raw chicken products. Some of these products include pet food, chicken pieces, ground pieces, and whole chickens. The bacteria has also been found in live chickens. Hospitals treated 21 people sickened by the salmonella strain, and no deaths have been reported. Lab tests have not yet identified a common supplier or source of the affected chicken.
And if you're looking for something to jazz up your Thursday nights, Two Cats has something for you. NewsLink Indiana's Crystal Pinnell has the story.
For the past 6 months, Two Cats Cafe has been holding Jazz Night outside of their building for the locals to enjoy jazz music composed by Ball State students. General Manager Rachel Walker explains how it all started.
We were actually approached by the School of Music. One of the professors came and he was like, hey, I have a group of talented students that would really love to come and play. So we were always really open to hosting events and stuff like that. So we were like immediately on board, and we have these jazz cat paintings, so it kind of fit the vibe.
They hold sales through the week to accommodate for the guest.
We do have beer sales sometimes too, to help like the students like motivate them to come here and get a beer with their dinner because it's a little cheaper.
Two Cats Cafe, Crystal Pinnell, NewsLink Indiana.
Jazz Night is held every Thursday night from 7 to 10.
If you use the ride-hailing company Lyft, they've recently launched a new all-access plan. Riders with this subscription will pay $299 every month for 30 rides, worth up to $15 each. Customers could be saving up to $5 per ride. If a ride costs more, then the rider pays the difference. Lyft has been thinking of ways to get customers to ditch their cars and move the industry forward. The company has been tinkering with subscriptions since earlier this year. And talking about subscriptions, Netflix has passed their own expectations by adding nearly 7 million new subscribers in its most recent quarter. Nearly 6 million of their new subscribers came from overseas, which is good news for the company. Over the past year, Netflix aimed to add international members. After their recent, and the company expects to roughly 9 more million people to subscribe before the end of the year.
And good news, you still have a chance of becoming filthy rich. There was no Powerball winner Wednesday. That means the new estimated jackpot rises to $430 million. Wednesday's payday, $345 million. The next drawing is Saturday evening. Meanwhile, the Mega Millions jackpot is up to $970 million as of Thursday afternoon.
Well, it would be certainly nice to celebrate winning the jackpot for the weekend, Wyndham.
I would definitely use that money.
Hopefully some nice weather coming up in the weekend as well. Liz, what can you tell us?
I can't be the bearer of good news all the time. We'll see some cooler temperatures on the way for tonight, though, and I'll talk about coming up in after the break for homecoming weather.
For those who serve will never end. The Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to Newslink, Indiana, and we're supposed to be excited for homecoming weekend, but Liz isn't really giving an excited vibe about this weather.
No, I think if I wanted to study something that was going to make people happy all the time, it wouldn't be weather, because it's just too crazy, and I'm never going to be the bearer of good news for anything, it seems like. I'm always making you guys groan whenever I bring up the weather. I'm sorry, I know. We're trying to get those warmer jackets out because it's starting to feel a little cooler, and we're probably going to need to keep those for a while. Currently, we're sitting at 47 degrees, pretty calm wind, so we're not going to be seeing a lot of an impact as you're headed out the door, but you do want to keep that jacket handy with you throughout the night. Temperatures overnight tonight only getting down to 35 degrees. That's only 3 degrees above freezing. Very cold, maybe even seeing in the morning some patches of frost. Winds tonight just staying pretty variable. We won't see that really impact us, but in the morning, again, clear, cool conditions, so giving you the green light for your morning commute, but these cool temperatures, make sure you're grabbing those jackets. Give yourself that extra 5 to 10 minutes to warm up your car. There may be some frost on it in the morning. Just prepare for that so that way you're not late for work or for heading the kids out for school. Highs for tomorrow, we're just sitting right around where we were today. 57 degrees for your temperatures in Indianapolis, 57 in Lafayette, 58 in Terre Haute, but more cool temperatures are on the way. For bed races tomorrow, we can be seeing 55 degrees, partly cloudy conditions, and gusty winds at times, so make sure you have those windbreakers handy. But as we start to get into the rest of the day, not going to be as warm as 55 degrees. So we start out Friday pretty clear. Cloud coverage starts to build in. Most of this rain sticking just to our north. And then as we start to push in later on in the evening, there are some scattered chances for showers. We'll be seeing that a little bit more into Saturday as the second line starts to move through. Drier air coming back into the picture, so we will be starting to dry up from all that moisture that we're getting Friday into Saturday, but make sure you're grabbing those umbrellas as you're headed out the door. For homecoming weekend this weekend, Saturday morning, 9:30 a.m. homecoming parade. You're going to want to get the kiddos nice and bundled up because it's going to be really cold out there. 49 degrees, those sunny skies aren't going to be relieving those temperatures at all, only getting up to 53 degrees by 3 p.m. for the football game. Again, just going to be chilly for the next couple of days. Keep the kiddos bundled up. You don't want to get sick because this is starting to get into flu season. Grab those umbrellas for Friday into Saturday. We'll start to dry out after Saturday, but really keeping those chances into the picture as we start to get in with this cold front moving through. For the next 7 days, we're seeing precipitation Friday into Saturday. Cooler temperatures are on the way. Again, only getting up into those mid to upper 50s. For the rest of the week, we'll start to dry up. You may see some peaks of sunshine in the picture, but we won't be getting up into those out of chances for snow. It's likely on the way maybe a month from now, and I'm hoping it'll stay a month from now at least.
Well, I was really hoping that the nice weather from last weekend would return this weekend, but like you said, we can't always get what we want, so we'll take what we can get.
And a 50% chance of rain also means a 50% chance of no rain. So
exactly, that's very true.
Being a little optimistic here, people.
A month ago, you were asking for warmer temperatures and cooler temperatures because it was those 80s and 90s. Now we're into these 50s, and everyone's asking for warmer temperatures. We're just not happy. It's fall.
I love the 50s. I love the fall weather. The rain can stay away.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree. Done with it.
All right, Liz, thank you so much. Coming up in sports, we take a look at the newly released schedule for Ball State baseball.
And this weekend is homecoming for Ball State football. We'll preview their game against Eastern Michigan.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweepstakes scam. I could have lost everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero. Huh. After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self, and I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to Newslink Indiana. I'm Andrew Sanders with sports. It's homecoming weekend here, and Ball State and the football team is facing off against the Eastern Michigan Eagles. The team has already improved upon their 2017 season, and a big contributor is the defense. The squad is the third most improved unit in the FBS this year. Newslink Indiana's Sam Sherman caught up with the team to catch their mindset heading into this weekend's game.
It's a homecoming showdown for the Ball State football team this weekend as they take on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. One of the largest highlights of the season for Ball State is their dominant defensive showing. Sophomore linebacker Jalen Thomas gave his insight on the root of the unit's success.
We really just came together as a unit, really. We emphasized on our relationship off the field, and it kind of related to our relationship on the field and how it was. We played together so well, and it's just a real big thing that we emphasize off the field, getting our relationship tight.
And there's nothing to fuel a defense like the hype surrounding a homecoming game.
Defending our house on homecoming, this is a real big game for us, but definitely defending our house, can't nobody come into our house and, take over. We just got to do what we got to do.
While extra hype can have the potential to be a performance-altering distraction, senior kicker Morgan Hagee explains how the team faces the challenge.
We want to embrace it, but also kind of focus it, kind of use it, but also kind of focus and most importantly just focus on the job that has to be done.
The Cardinals have lost their last 2 meetings with Eastern Michigan. The key to a reversal of fortune this year could be starting hot and staying that way.
For one, just kind of be the same team that we were in the second half of last week. We were very, everybody just, fire was firing on all cylinders, offense, defense, special teams. So, trying to just start that way and, from kickoff and just continue and be more consistent.
In Muncie, Sam Sherman, Newslink, Indiana.
You can catch the Cardinals' homecoming showdown with Eastern Michigan right here at Ball State this Saturday at 3 p.m. And today, the Ball State baseball team released their 2019 schedule for the season. Just like in previous years, the first half of the schedule features some challenging non-conference foes. Ball State will take on some tough Power 5 schools, including the University of Alabama, in-state rival Notre Dame, and most notably, Stanford University. Last season, Stanford finished the year ranked 3rd in the country, according to NCAA.com. Head coach Rich Maloney likes the challenge in the schedule because, quote, the early season schedule will help us in our quest to become the best we can be in time for MAC competition. The Cardinals won't start MAC play until the end of March when they travel to Western Michigan. And this Cardinals baseball team is one that finished 3rd in the conference last baseball season, so the MAC crown is certainly in play for this team, you guys.
Certainly a lot to look forward to, Andrew. Already crazy, Major League Baseball is finishing up their season. We're already looking forward to college baseball in just a few months.
Yeah, the sports cycle never stops. That's why you got to love it.
And coming up next, as the weather gets colder and Halloween nears, here's your chance to take part. See what Halloween movie makes its debut.
All that and more next in Trending.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo, is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think of kids going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana and Wyndham. It's that time of the night where we take a look at what's trending.
Yeah, and right now joining us is NewsLink's Destiny Johnson. How are you doing, Destiny?
Hi, I'm doing great today. So in trending, for many of you, the fall is a nice time to snuggle in a blanket, participate in some pumpkin carving, or just layer up in your best fall clothes. But Halloween is approaching, and what better way is there to kick off the holidays than with a scare? The movie Halloween premieres in theaters this Friday and will showcase Laurie Strode as she comes into her final encounter with Michael Myers. Many fans are already giving the movie 10 out of 10 ratings and saying it's the best horror movie of 2018. So again, something to do as the weather gets colder and something that you guys do not want to miss.
I don't know if I think I might be missing it. I might be okay with missing that one.
Really?
I told you earlier, that's the only movie that ever gave me nightmares as a kid, so I'm a little nervous to see that.
Yeah, like I don't know. I'm not a big fan of scary movies, but this one looks like something I don't want to miss out on.
What else do you have for us, Destiny?
Yes, so the next story in trending is about Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock. And while he isn't in the gym, he spends quality time with his daughter.
Happy 6-month birthday, dear Tiana Gia. Happy birthday.
This is just an awesome video, and this is a heartwarming video that I really needed to see today.
Super sweet.
Absolutely, a beautiful video indeed. Destiny, thank you so much. Liz, how about one final look at the weather?
Yeah, so we're going to stay pretty cool for the rest of the next week. It's not exactly what I know everyone's looking for. I've got those jackets already bundled out. I hope you guys already have them pulled out, and if you don't, definitely start to get them out. We're going to start off for the next 2 days with some precipitation in the picture. Not what we want for homecoming week, but we will see all the festivities probably still go on. Most of the best chances for Saturday are really just going to be in those later evening hours. But as we start to get into Sunday, temperatures cool down to 50 degrees from that cold front. We'll start to see temperatures slowly get back on the rise. We'll start to dry out too, but it's not what we want. I know, it's October. It's not what I want to see.
I'm not that upset about next week. There's a lot of sun in the forecast. I can deal with 50s and sunny skies. That's nothing
It's a
wrong
positive
with that.
attitude on it. I like it. I like it.
Gotta stay positive, people. Stay positive.
You do. So should we bundle up for the tailgate weather?
Yes, definitely make sure that you've got all your layers prepared for tailgating, or else you're just going to freeze your butt off. You're going to get sick, and then all of your classes are just going to stack up on you. I know I've been through that before.
Great.
Well, thank you, Liz. And that's all that we have tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at noon on Facebook Live for the very latest.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Thanks for being with us and have a great night.